This may be one of the last videos in the bad driving saga just because I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point. But at the same time, I also feel like there's so much to talk about when it comes to bad driving because there's so many small, big habits, everything in between. So in this video, we are covering the small, super subtle habits that you may be a bad driver. Because it's easy enough to tell someone they're a bad driver if they like cruise in the left lane. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but like these are the small things that really fly under the radar. So today, that is what we're getting into today. Got to work on these intros. You already know I got to plug everything. Join the Discord. Follow me on Instagram. That's the most important. Follow me on Instagram. I need clout. Subscribe while you're at it. Please just hit that subscribe button. With that being said, you guys are getting extremely angry in the comments because of how long I go on these intros. So without further ado, I'm going to shove myself in the corner. I think it's that one. I might be a dumbass. And let's get into this video. Our first sign, and this is one that everybody talks about, it's braking randomly. Now look, I like to use my brakes to not hit people. That's just me. Personally, that's kind of my cup of tea when it comes to brake usage. Some people just like to use it for the love of the game, just to tap their brakes. It's crazy. And it's not that they're brake checking you. It's not that they're trying to send a message or just be an ass or whatever. They're genuinely just doing it. It's like, oh, braking. No turn coming up, nothing. This will forever blow my mind. I see this so much. If I had to diagnose why people do this, I think it's because they're just very reactive drivers. So obviously, yes, you want to react to things, but I think they're very just like, oh, a small thing in the corner of their eye. Oh, brake. Like they're just super panicky behind the wheel, which is obviously a sign of a bad driver, in my opinion. This is going to be awful for me. Next up, we have one I've touched on a couple times before, and that is driving at night with no lights on. Now, obviously, yes, this is bad. We know why, but let me explain why it's like a lot more bad than you think, and it's also a sign that you're a bad driver. This may be obvious to some people, but you are driving a 4,000-pound machine, and when you have genuinely no visibility except maybe the reflectors on your car, that might be a bad thing. Another thing to think about is that not only will you get ticketed hard, you might also be at fault for potential accidents. Think about it. If you're going down a street and someone cuts you off because they just straight up can't see you, that might place some accountability or blame on you. So you really have to think about that. And then why it makes you a bad driver, it's the lack of awareness. Driving is all about awareness, being aware of your surroundings. So if you can't even notice that your dash isn't lit up or that people are flashing at you to turn on your lights or that nothing's illuminated in front of you, like that might be a problem. Okay, if you can't notice something that basic, I start to wonder what else you can't notice on the road. It's just concerning. I think this top tier is a little extreme, but you know, I got to get them views. I got to keep people hooked. This is quit driving ASAP. That feels wrong. Back to driving school. Next up, we got another heavy hitter here. We got drifting within or even a bit outside of your lane. Look, lane positioning is key, and it's something that's hard to learn when you're first learning driving. I get it. Like, you're not really aware of where your car sits relative to the lane. But if you're an at-all experienced driver in any regard, this should be like really easy to nail. I see people all the time just kind of wafting throughout the lane, kind of dipping into the bike lane, dipping the other side of the road, and it's just bad. Like, obviously, it's not blatant, like they're not going on the other side of the road, but like they're drifting around. They can't keep a steady lane position. Now, this seems super nitpicky, but I think there's a couple issues here. One, it's a sign of phone usage that you're just not paying attention, so that's not great. And two, and more importantly, you're starting to evade other people's space. Like my city has very narrow, small lanes, okay? There's been times when I've just been normally in my lane and people are starting to drift without realizing it, and our cars have been like inches from bumping into each other, and that's just like not acceptable in my opinion. It's something that can be corrected with just a little bit of attention, but it is definitely awful. Next up, we have harsh braking. Now basically, a lot of people don't know how to limo stop or just how to brake smoothly in a car in general, and a lot of people just, when you're riding in a car with them, it's pretty clear when they don't know how to brake. They'll just have that harsh, abrupt jolt when they finally come to a stop. Does this matter at all? Absolutely not. It's just kind of annoying for your passengers. This one's going to be not that bad. Next up, we have not hugging the curb when you're making a turn. This one is key. This one is so slept on, so listen up. When you are making a right turn, okay, or if you're in Australia, UK, it's a left turn, you shoulder check first. Once you do that shoulder check, you want to wait to make your right turn, but you may not be able to make it right away. That means within that time, when you're waiting to make your right turn, if you're not hugging the curb, cyclists or another car could squeeze through, and you may not be aware of it, and then when you go to make your turn, you could cut them off and hit them. Would it partially be their fault? Probably, but you still might be at fault for not hugging the curb. You need to hug the curb. You need to be as close as possible to the curb so that no one can get through, so that people are not cutting in between you when you're making your turn. I won't say quite awful, but this is definitely a bad habit that you should look to fix. Cutting corners. Oh my goodness. Cutting corners. Okay. There are two types of places I see cutting corners happen the most. One is in slow, low speed, kind of off the major road area. So parking lots or like residential streets, and people just are careless, they're sloppy, they'll cut corners. This is not great, okay? Need to fix this, but that's kind of obvious when you do it. The one that flies under the radar, the cutting corners that I see all the time, is cutting the yellow lines when you're making a left turn. When you're at an intersection, one car is making a left turn and you're in the opposite lane of the street they're turning onto. I hope this is making sense. They'll cut the corner when they're making the left turn through the intersection. I'll put a diagram if I watch this over when I'm editing. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, my overall point is you need to be so on top of staying within your lane. Look, I get if, it happens occasionally, but if you're consistently doing it, this is pretty awful. Next up, we have when you're making a turn off a side street onto a major road, pulling out too far. A lot of people, when they're making a turn, because they need better visibility, will pull way too far out. It's fine if you pull out of the side street a bit, but then it gets to the point where they're like fully in the crossroad that they're trying to turn onto, and people have to almost go around them, and they still don't realize that they're doing it wrong. This is an absolutely horrendous habit. You have to fix this if you consistently do this. A lot of people are just not aware of the dimensions of their car, okay? If you have a big car, that's fine, but you got to learn how to handle it, or just stop buying big trucks that you don't need. That'd be the ultimate solution. But no Americans are going to do that. This is a very bad habit. If you do this, you need to fix it. Back to driving school. Next up, we have slowing down excessively to make a turn off a major road. So let's say you're following someone and they put on their turn signal because they want to make a turn off the street. They will go so slow until they've pretty much come to a full stop to make their turn. Now, don't send corners, okay? But when you're making a turn off a major road, be mindful that there's plenty of traffic probably behind you. And if you really slam on the brakes, you're going to cause this chain reaction and everyone's going to have to slow down excessively. And then it's just making these roads way less efficient. Is this at all dangerous to anyone? No, but it's very annoying. And it causes a little bit of traffic and makes roads slower. Get better. Next up, this is a general one. I've touched on this kind of stuff for a while now, and I'm going to continue to do it because it's so subtle. But this one is specific, okay? Immediately deflecting accountability when you're honked at. Now, this may speak to your character more than it is driving, but I think this is a huge part of driving. A huge part of good driving in day-to-day traffic is not cutting up. It's not drifting. It's just character. A lot of it's character. And this is a prime example. If you get honked at, and you immediately say, I can't believe that person honked. What did they do? Why are they so mad? Instead of thinking, what might I have done to get honked? I actually talked about this just last video, but I'm getting more specific with this. You immediately deflect accountability. That's a very bad habit. I get it. People can go ham with the horn. People are horn happy, but you got to understand that people aren't just doing it for fun most of the time. And even if they are, even if they're just being annoying, right? Even if they're just doing it out of rage, is immediately getting mad at them really going to help the situation? Your best bet, if you truly believe that you did nothing wrong, is just to move on, steer clear of them. But if there's anything you could have done wrong, if you even waited at a green light for a few seconds and they honked, that's kind of justified. I'm not going to lie. So yeah, if you immediately deflect accountability, this is a bad habit. Next up, we got jerky steering. This is kind of like harsh braking, but I think it's a little worse. If you're just constantly adjusting your steering and making these harsh adjustments instead of just smoothly making turns, really feels sketch when you're in the passenger position. And also I feel like you have less control of your car if you're doing that. Definitely get better. Finally, we have when you're going to make a turn and you stop at a stop sign, blowing through the stop line and just instantly creeping up to the intersection. Now, something you guys need to put in your head more is that road markings usually exist for a reason, and this includes stop signs and stop lines, okay? Now, are you supposed to creep forward to make your turn after you stopped at a stop sign? Yes, but after, okay? You have to stop at the stop sign first. Why? Because usually at stop signs, there's this thing called a crosswalk, okay? And you might want to look at that crosswalk to see if there's any pedestrians or kids or cyclists that you're going to hit before you blow through the stop line, okay? And the other thing is that it gives drivers on the main road that you're trying to turn onto a panic attack because they don't know if you're really going to stop because you haven't stopped at the stop sign. Does that make sense? This is a bad habit. You really need to fix this if you do this. Bad habit. Guys, my next video is the all car brand tier list. So you're going to want to subscribe and hit the bell for that. It's just taking a while to edit. It's probably going to be 3 times the length of this video, just to give you an idea. But thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart, from the depths of my heart. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.